Hi guys, I have had a request to show how to do paradox in a circle or maybe some other random weird shapes. So I'm just going to give that a go. I don't think I've ever actually drawn in a circle. I've drawn in other strange shaped configurations, but I'm not sure I've actually done a circle. So you know what, there's no time like the present to give it a try, right? Let's see, where am I? There we go. Okay, let's draw a circular shape. I'm going to start with a pencil. You know what, I think I'm going to go ahead and draw a whole tile. I love paradox. It's one of my favorites. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a circle right in the middle, or sort of in the middle of this tile. Maybe I want it a little bigger. Maybe a little bigger. Something like that. And then I will divide up these other shapes on the outside into odd configuration shapes. That will help me find a relatively round circle. Not too bad. Okay, and I'm going to do a border. And then I'm going to erase. Oh, what happened to my eraser? It's not in its baggie. I keep doing that. I keep leaving it out of its baggie. I like to have this kneaded eraser, but I like it soft and pliable. It stays better that way in the baggie. Okay, get rid of the pencil. So what I'm thinking is that to do a circle, I am going to have some sort of reference spots for starting and stopping, because obviously you just can't go all the way around. That would just make a spiral. That won't work. You'll have to start and stop in various places around the circle. So I'm just going to make a pencil mark, and I'm going to start right there where my pen line made a little blob. Might as well use it and kind of cover it up by making a spot there. And don't think, if I only put 4 reference points, it'll end up as a square in the middle, and I don't want that. So I think I will go here and here and maybe here. I don't want it directly across. And maybe there. 5, kind of. They're not exactly evenly spaced, but they're kind of close. So I'm going to try it like that and see what happens. You know, the worst that can happen is that it doesn't look right. Right? Problem is how to get it to be thick. All right. This is more of a challenge than I had anticipated. You've got to do how do you end up with thick? Because if you do it like that, that won't work. Oh, I'm really confused. How in the world do you do it? I may have to look up a reference. I'm going to put this on pause. I will be back in just a second. I'm going to reference and see if I can find somebody who has actually done it and see what they do. I've done it in an oval, but I've never done it in a circle. Give me a moment. I'm determined to figure it out. Okay, I looked it up. Looked at some examples of some people who have done paradox in a circle. There seems to be two schools of thought on how to do paradox in a circle. One school of thought is to actually make pie-shaped wedges. You know, divide the circle into pie-shaped pieces and then do this triangle around like that. And that would work. But it would look more normal. And I don't think that's what everybody was thinking about. The other one is basically taking the circular shape and kind of doing what I had initially thought about and making it into a multi-sided knot circle. So I'm going to do one this way, and I'm actually going to get out my ruler and I'm going to do this just to get the outside into a multi-sided figure here. Basically, they just do like what I was saying, and they just go around and create inside the circle and that was basically where I was headed with my doing different points anyways, right? Isn't that what I was kind of headed at? I just wasn't sure how I was going to actually draw it. I want another one here. I didn't space that very well, but that's okay. Something like that. Multi-sided thing. And then start your paradox with thin to thick. Turn your tile. Thin to thick. Turn your tile. Thin to thick. And so forth. So basically, you aren't drawing a circle, you're drawing a multi-sided, like, you know, hexagon, polygon, some sort of, you're actually not drawing a circle. Because they're straight lines, you really need them to be straight. I don't know if this is exactly what you guys had in mind. Like I said, I've never tried drawing in a circle before. I always go thin to thick. I know there are others who do it the other way. They go thick to thin. I can't do that. I have to start where even when I turn my tile, I always have to start exactly where my last line ended. Which, you know, this morning I went back and looked at my really early video on how to do paradox. And I'm watching it and I'm going, well, wait a minute. When I get to square number 3, I did completely wrong. So, who knows what I was thinking? Clearly, I wasn't thinking. See, I'm getting a little tight right there because I started out, that one wasn't evenly spaced across. So I'm probably on this next round going to get rid of it altogether. I think my allergies are kicking in a little bit. Although they're not near as bad as they have been in other years, because... Which one did I just do? That one, right? I got confused. Yeah, so far they're not been as bad as in other years, which is really nice. So I would suggest maybe being a little more even on the spacing around your circle, because clearly I wasn't. So some of these have really long lines and some of them have shorter lines and they look funny, but this is one way to do it. I'm going to do it the other way on another tile here, or turn this over and practice it the other way with doing it as making wedges, pie shapes within the circle. That's probably, I don't know if that's more of what you guys were looking for or less. This is for Cheyenne in our group. Prompted by another, I don't remember her name, golly, another poster who is struggling with doing just paradox by, you know, the standard paradox. But she's on the right track. She really is. And I think if she gives it another go, she will totally get it. This is getting really wonky here. I'm not caring much for this. I think it's getting tiny, which means I need to stop turning. And it's going to end up in a square. No matter what I do, it seems to going to end up in a square. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go here and divide this so it doesn't look like such a big white gapping hole there. And I smudged with my ruler. I'm not happy about that. So that's what you do. You're basically drawing not a circle as your main shape, and then you're just kind of filling in around. I think that's what you guys were looking for, but certainly you could create, you know, a pie shape with a, let me do another round one here. Just a little one like that. And you could certainly divide this circle into wedges and then just do a standard paradox along these lines. Like that, and end up with what I call a standard the whole fans or twists. Gee, my phone is just going off the hook here. It's probably this paradox conversation. It's been popular. I need to remember when I comment on some stuff to turn off notifications for the post if I think it's going to be quite the conversation. Yeah, I usually turn off notifications, then I don't get hounded by every time somebody comments on a particular post. When they're small like this, I can do it without turning my tile. But when it's bigger or if it's a little more complex, I can't. So those are the two ways to do a circle, it looks like. So divide your circle up into however many sides you want and make it a straight-sided figure and then fill in. That seems to be the most practical way to do that. And just go around, just keep going around, just like you always do. For those of you who are not well versed in doing paradox yet, clearly a circle is a challenging shape. It's not where I would start. But you can do oddball shapes. You could certainly do oddball shapes. Let me put a line here. Okay, and let me fill in this weird shape right there. That's an oddball shape. It's got what, 1, 2, 3. It's got 4 sides. It's just they're not straight. Okay, let's do that. And then I'm going to do one here. And I'm going to bring that through here. I'm going to bring this string kind of through like that. I'm going to divide this up into like some string parts. And maybe, I want to do another circle there? Sure, why not? Maybe we'll do another circle right here. That looks like one of our strings for one of the pattern play. I hadn't thought about it as 3 different circles. I'm going to try this again in this kind of configuration, but I'm going to try to do it without the ruler as my first thought. So I will be more mindful of dividing my circle into pieces here. Like that. Okay, and then I'm going to just go straight from that point to point all the way around. That one you won't see, right? That one you won't see. You have to remember that it's coming out from there. Oh, goodness sakes. I forgot to turn the sounds off on my phone, is what I did. Because I really hadn't planned on. So that's what you want to do. You just want to divide it into that. This one's going to be a little more even than this one because I did a better job at it. And then just do it as you would normally would. Thin to thick, thin to thick. You're not going to see that. That's an issue that I didn't think about. So it's going to be coming out. Well, come to here somewhere. I don't know. That one behind is going to cause me grief. I've never done paradox where it's part of it's hidden before. So that is going to cause me an issue. And then just go around, thin to thick, thin to thick. It's just a little more complicated. I think the fewer segments you make in this dividing up your circle, the easier it'll be. If you do it with just 4 segments, it'll end up being a square. 5 would probably be an optimal number to make it easy. This one has way too many and it's kind of complicated. But as long as you just keep turning and starting your next line where your last one ended, I think you'll be okay. See, I'm just starting where the last one ended. Start where the last one ended. Just keep going in a circle. I don't know if you guys can even see that. I'm running out of space again. See, when it's inconsistent spacing, or when I'm being inconsistent with the size between them, that's where I'm ending up with. I run out of space there. I lose one of the lines. I know I'm going to lose that line because it's getting too tiny. Okay, it's starting to get small enough that I don't have to turn it anymore. And no matter what you do, it just sort of, it's always going to go kind of wonky at the bottom, in the middle. Get rid of my little pencil marks. Okay. So there they are in the round. And I just really feel like I want to just fill this whole tile with the paradox because I love paradox. I really do. So I want, am I going to get a fan shape anywhere? I really like the fan shapes the best. But I don't always plan my tile in a way where it's going to end up with a fan shape. This one might, kind of, if I do it right. So I'm going to go this direction with my thin to thick. Thin to thick. I'm just following those curves. Thin to thick. Thin to thick. Just start where you ended last and try to be relatively consistent with how wide the distance is from this one to the next one. Ugh. Got a frog in my throat today. Someone mentioned about my voice didn't sound quite right. And that's because I used to do all of my drawing like in the early afternoon. But with my new schedule, I've had to get up and do most of my drawing first thing in the morning before I'm really thoroughly awake. And right after I've eaten. And I like to have a big glass of protein shake in the morning. I'm going to go this way. And that's made with milk. I know. Milk may not be the best thing for me, but I like my milk. My niece is trying to get me to change over to mixing the protein shake with like coconut milk or something, but ugh. Not for me. I like my regular oat milk. But milk is not good for your vocal cords, and so I mean, it's not that it's bad for your vocal cords, it's just that it gives a coating, leaves a little film in your throat, and it's noticeable in the sound that your voice makes. Until that has worked its way away, you sound funny. So rest assured, I feel okay. I have a little bit of allergy, but I feel okay. But I do appreciate your concern. See how you can do these odd shapes? They eventually will end up either as rectangles or triangles in the middle. They just do. It's kind of how they kind of work themselves out. But just follow the contours of the shape. Eventually you'll lose the spots where they get really small. You'll just lose them, and you'll have to just skip over it. That one's a little wide. I don't like them when they get inconsistent width like that. So what I'll do is I'll come back in there, I'll add an extra one just to make it visually more appealing to me. Okay, it's gotten to where I don't have to turn it anymore. There we go. See, you can fill with an odd shape, and it makes an interesting flow because you have an extra kind of curve. Like this has this extra curve already in it. It makes it really interesting. I want this fan shape, so I'm going to go this way. Just turn your tile however it makes it easiest for you to draw. Once you get the hang of paradox, you really, except for making your lines more consistent, you don't have to turn your tile in order to do the pattern. I just like to have a more consistent thing with my hand. I think this is interesting. My circle is like getting incorporated in there. You almost can't see it. That's really cool. I like that. This one you'll be able to see no problem because of the way that the triangle has created that pie shape. But these other ones are just going to flow into that. I really find that fascinating. This needs a little something something right here in the corner. Okay, let's go this way. That one. That one. I'm always thinking thin to thick. Thin to thick. And just follow whatever shape you happen to have. And fill it up with however it happens to go. like that. And then this one, let's do it this way. I did a really big tangle once using Paradox, and I originally just on a big 5x7 piece of paper, I drew random lines all the way across it. Some of them ended up triangles, some of them ended up four-sided shapes, and then I just did Paradox in every single one of those spots. Some of them making fans, some of them making twists. I had the best time. I enjoyed myself immensely. And it came out with such movement. I added a little bit of color to it. And it turns out I stuck it in. I've got this, it's called a photo cup. It has this double-walled cup. So the outside wall is clear. And you can open it up and slide a picture in there. Well, I slid this drawing in there, and that's the cup I use at work. So everybody knows that that is my water glass. There we go. One more. I think I want this fan. I really like the fan effect, so I try sometimes to, on purpose, make it, which is to make the thin to thick going a certain direction. If you make it going the other way, it makes the twist. Both of them are cool, and sometimes I want all twists, but I really like the fan shape. There we go. And you just fill it in. I am so pleased with this. Thanks guys for suggesting I do a little video with a circle. I really like it. I like the effect of this better than this. This is not my favorite. But it is a way to do a circle with Paradox. Absolutely. Just divide it into a pie shape. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see. Oops, that's not zoomed in. You guys can see how it turned out. So there's that. And then there's that. And I did that one. I think those are really cool. Oops, I missed a corner here. And I'm going to do a little shading because what's a tile without some shading, right? What do I want to emphasize though? That's the question. I think I want to emphasize this. Right there, that shape right there. In the center circle. You want to really see that middle one. So that's what I'm going to emphasize. Like that. Oh, that's cool. Let's see. Sometimes it's easier for me to look up into the camera and see where I want to shade. this one is going to be a little bit here. Like that. And then it needs a little here. And I think I'm going to do in the center of these. That. And then I think this one wants to be like this. And this one wants to go like this. Okay. And then this one is here. And this one is going to go around those spirals like that. Okay, I like it. Okay, there you guys go. I hope I was able to help some of you guys, especially those of you who are more advanced. This is not a beginner tile. Just FYI, not a beginner tile. If you want a beginner lesson, I have one, and it is not its best because it was one of my first ones, but look it up. Just you know, go on my channel and search for Paradox and you'll find it. It was like one, if it wasn't my absolute first one, it was one of them very first ones. I think it was my actual first one I ever published. So yeah, pretty crazy. Been a long road. You guys have a great day. I will see you later. Yeah, bye. Be a blessing to somebody, okay? Bye.